Hi everyone! Today we're gonna have a very different videos from the kinds of videos that I usually make here in my channel because I'm mostly a beauty and makeup channel. But today, since it's that season again, I just want to give you some tips and tricks on how to pass your college entrance exams, and particularly UPCAT and ACET and the one from DLSU. So if you're an incoming college student, then just keep on watching. The first tip that I'm gonna give you is one that is very taken lightly by a lot of high school students because it's very much generic, and that is to have good grades. I don't know if you know this already, but a lot of prestigious universities like UP, Ateneo de la Salle take into consideration your high school grades. So, for instance, in UPCAT, UP grade consists of 60% of your UPCAT score, your raw UPCAT score, and then 40% from your high school grades. So, you better start working on your grades from now on. It has a bearing. And if you secured that 40% already, then you won't need to make a lot of effort in securing that 60%. So you can really pass the entrance exam. Yeah, that is one trick that is usually ignored by a lot of high school students, but it is the very effective way of securing a slot in any university that you want to go into. So yeah, have good grades, guys. Have good grades. The second tip is to review your basics in your English, math, and science subjects, particularly in English, because a lot of entrance exams have English as their main determining factor. In fact, English is pretty much 60% of the entire entrance exam. So if you do not know the basics of the English language and how to, communicate it and how to understand the language, then you might need to really work yourself on that. And especially if your English grammar skills are kind of rusty, you need to review the tenses, the verbs, the subject-verb agreement, and such. And if you're good at that, then you're good to go. Also, a lot of high school students are very scared of taking college entrance exams because of the math subject. But in all of the entrance exams that I have taken in the past, the math subject area is quite basic. Like, you will need to be familiar with your basic algebra and trigonometry problems. So if you have problems in that, then just work on it and answer a lot of math problems while you still can. So yeah, there are a lot of online courses or online reviewers. For those of you who can't afford any review centers, then try to search for a lot of reviewers online like MSA. But yeah, also try to answer some problems from problem sets in universities from abroad because they are pretty much advanced in that area. So if you can answer those type of questions, then granted, you can answer the problems in your college entrance exams as well. Okay, so the third tip is pretty much important, especially in the English subject area, because this is where readers shine. So the third tip is to develop your reading comprehension skills. There is a part of the entrance exam that is purely reading comprehension, and that tests your analysis. So if you're good at analyzing things and if you're good at reading a lot of passages at a quick speed, or if you are a fast reader, then you will have an advantage in taking college entrance exams. I am actually an above average reader, I must say. I'm a book nerd, and that helps me a lot in a lot of college entrance exams. Trust me, being a book nerd will have an advantage for you. So just keep on reading, exercise your reading habits, and try to answer some reviewers that test your reading comprehension skills. So it's usually about the main idea of the passage, or what is the author trying to tell you. What else? What is the overall message of that passage, or what kind of passage is that? Is it a narrative? Is it a declarative passage? Is it an expose or a fictional something? Just questions like that to really understand the passage. So try and develop your reading habits while you can. Alright, the fourth tip is to add a new word every day to your vocabulary, because there is also a section in a lot of college entrance exams testing your vocabulary skills. So it's more of under the reading comprehension still, but it's kind of a branch, So try to learn a new word every day and try to use it in a sentence, and try to search for its antonym as well. So there are types of questions like that. What is the synonym of the certain word? What is the antonym of a certain word? And what is its closest meaning? So if you are not good with that, but you are a reader, then you can also use context clues within the passage if there is a passage given. So yeah, it pays a lot to be a wide reader when taking college entrance exams. Fifth tip is to have a review center. Now, when I took college entrance exams, I did enroll in a review center called Brain Train. But if you don't have the money for that, then it's okay, because there are a lot of online reviewers that you can take so you can practice, And if you have like close upper years, you can also ask for their old reviewers and such. I know MSA makes good reviewers for college entrance exams, so try to look for that as well. There are online copies, and there are also hard copies from national bookstores, so just search for a lot of references. The sixth tip is mind time pressure, because a lot of college entrance exams have an allotted amount of time for you to answer everything. So try to answer your reviewers as fast as you can, or with a time limit, just so you can gauge on how you will work on a problem, or how fast should you need to solve a certain problem. So for instance, in math, you might want to answer 10 problems within 5 minutes, so that you can really keep up to date with the time pressure, because I swear time pressure is a real thing in college entrance exams. And if you are not familiar with that kind of pressure, then you might be panicky when you're taking the exam. So try to familiarize yourself with that feeling, so that when you are in the real deal, you will not as panicked as you were beforehand, because you've got a lot of practice already. So yeah. Number 7 is to familiarize yourself with the scoring system of each entrance exam. Now for UPCAT, for instance, I think it's right minus wrong. So try to gauge yourself if it's better to skip an item rather than blindly picking an answer, because sometimes when you blindly answer something, and if you're not sure of that, it's better to just leave it blank if the scoring system is right minus wrong. Do you get me? Rather than risking yourself from any deductions from your correct and sure points, it's better to skip it, like you don't have any punishment. But if it isn't right minus wrong, the system isn't right minus wrong, then it's better to put answers in your unsure items, because in that way you might get lucky and that might be the correct answer. So it's just a matter of strategy, so know your strategy. Tip number 8 is to practice writing essays with substance or with meaning, because some entrance exams have a section for writing essays. So get ready for that. Example, what do you see yourself in 5 years, or what are your strengths and your weaknesses. Because in that section, they will not only gauge your mental capabilities but also your personality as well. Just don't want to have mentally capable students, but also students that have high EQ. So personality also makes a difference. So try to answer certain questions like that. Although it sounds like it's for beauty pageants or whatnot, but it's real. I actually had an entrance exam where there were several questions about myself. So try to familiarize yourself with those type of questions so that when you encounter that in a certain entrance exam, you won't be shocked, and you have a lot of time to prepare for it. So it pays to be ready. And tip number 9 is to make educated guesses. Don't just blindly guess. Make educated guesses. For example, what is the antonym of blank? And all of the words except for one sound really similar with each other, then choose that odd one out. So yeah, don't just eeny meeny miny moo. What else do I have to talk about? I think it's also important that you would engage yourself in a study group, one that is really engaging, so that when you don't know how to answer a certain problem, you have someone to turn to. Maybe he or she knows the answer and you can correlate your answers with each other and how to solve a certain problem, especially in math. So if you have any weaknesses in any sort of subject area, then try to be in a study group and then compare notes. Sharing is caring, guys. So this is not just an individualistic journey, but it's also a journey of some sorts with your friends. Your batchmates undergo the same thing, so why not do it together rather than divide and conquer? It doesn't work. So it pays to have friends, and it pays to have friends who will help you no matter what. Wow, that's some deep stuff. Anyways, that's all for me today. I hope that all of these tips that I have prepared for you are helpful, and good luck with your entrance exam, and may the odds be ever in your favor. Just kidding, that's Hunger Games. Bye guys, see you in my next video.